Hey y'all, I am back to do another ranking and reviewing for this time the Shatter Me series. I literally just binged this whole entire series in anticipation for Watch Me, which is coming out in April. I have been meaning to read this series, so I was really excited to get started. Everybody hypes it up like crazy. I have never heard so much about a series before like I have about Shatter Me. Just a disclaimer, my rankings for this series are literally all over the place. Honestly, this is probably the most uneven ranking I've ever done. And by uneven, I mean like the beginning and end books aren't rated as highly as like some of the books in the middle. So there might be a few spoilers in this post and the video, but I'm going to try my best to avoid spoilers as much as possible. But since it's a ranking video and I have to go over what's going on like in the book, there might be a few spoilers. But before I jump in, I do want to go over the actual reading order for the Shatter Me series because that kind of confused me when I first started reading this series, and I was like, okay, which novella goes where and which book goes where? So, in chronological order, you have Shatter Me, which is the first book, Destroy Me, which is the first novella from Warner's point of view. Then you have Unravel Me, Fracture Me, which is Adam's novella, Ignite Me, Restore Me, Shadow Me, which is Kenji's novella, Defy Me, Reveal Me, which is another novella with Kenji's point of view, Imagine Me, and Believe Me, which is the last novella in the series. So that's the reading order. Let's go ahead and jump into the rankings and the reviews because I have a lot to say. Okay, on the very bottom of my list is Fracture Me. So I have the novella books, but these contain two. This contains Destroy Me and Fracture Me. Fracture Me is the lowest in my ranking for the Shatter Me series for very obvious reasons. First, it's Adam's point of view. I did not like Adam. Adam was bland. I did not feel any romantic tie between him and Juliet when we first started the series, and I honestly just did not like him at all, period, as a character or a person. Fracture Me takes place right after the events of Unravel Me, which is the second novel in the series, and it's from Adam's point of view. If I'm being completely honest, this novel was a lot of Adam complaining. We didn't get really any new content, and like I said, I don't like Adam. Maybe I'm just biased. It was boring. Not much went on. I put 1 out of 5 stars. Next, I feel like people are going to disagree with me on this. Maybe not. Imagine Me. And I really thought that the last 3 books in the series were going to pick things up and the ending was going to be phenomenal. I was so wrong. Imagine Me was such a downgrade compared to some of the steps that had been made in terms of like the story and the world building and everything that happened with the 2 novels before this. You get to Imagine Me and it feels like this much of the novel feels like this much, which is a majority of the novel, was them trying to track down Juliet again, and then this was the ending, like wrapped up in 10 pages. I hated that. I hated it about Ignite Me, and I hated it about Imagine Me. It felt so unsatisfying, but this was so disappointing. I was really disappointed with this, and it just felt rushed, and like there was very, very little plot that actually happened in this. But if you want to see my full review of me ranting, it's linked in the post in the description. After Imagine Me, I feel like this is where people are going to try and fight me. Shatter Me, number 9. There are millions of reviews on Goodreads. Millions, which is crazy to me. I don't think I've ever seen a book with that many reviews on Goodreads. The writing was beautiful. Like everybody said, the writing was beautiful. I really liked that there was this romance aspect of it, and I loved Warner. Absolutely adored Warner, of course, even though he was bad in this one. But there was no world building. It's like she expected us to jump into this world and automatically know what was going on without telling us anything. You knew nothing about the reestablishment. You knew that they were bad. They're so bad, but you don't know why. You don't know what is going on in this world other than it's bad. I need to find a synonym for that. Evil, an evil world because of the reestablishment. But like, you didn't get anything else. You got nothing else out of this novel except really pretty writing, and a setup for a love triangle. That's what we got. And it honestly did not impress me as much as I thought it should with how much people hyped this series up. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Number 8, y'all knew this was coming because of what I said about Imagine Me, Ignite Me. The ending for this was so disappointing. Like you have this whole build up, the whole series of how Juliet's going to take down the reestablishment, and you get maybe 10 pages, 10, 20 pages, like this much. You get this much. And literally that's when everything happens for the ending and the tie-up. What? You spent 3 novels, almost 3 entire novels leading up to this, and the ending ends in 10 pages with barely any action? No, that is not what I want in a novel, especially a dystopian novel that is supposed to give me all of the romance, all of the action, and all of everything. No world building, no drama, barely any plot. Warner and Kenji, the whole reasons I read this. Next on my list, number 7, Shadow Me. So Shadow Me, this one, I want to say it happens right after Restore Me. Yes, it happens right after Restore Me. It's from Kenji's point of view. I actually really enjoyed it, but it wasn't enough for me to push it to a higher point. Like, it was just very in the middle as far as rankings go for me, because there were definitely novellas that were better than this, and there were definitely ones that were worse. And this one just kind of sat firmly at, this was good. It was good. You did, though, get a little bit of plot at the end of Shadow Me, which I really enjoyed leading into Defy Me. The main reason that I like this novella and the other one, which I'm going to get to next, is that Kenji's just fun. He's a fun point of view to read. He's a fan favorite. We all love Kenji. So that leads me to number 6, Reveal Me, which happens right after Defy Me. So Reveal Me is also by Kenji's point of view, and he kind of gets a little romance in Reveal Me, so I really like that as well. And then at the end of Reveal Me, you get something and you're like, whoa, what is going on? And then that leads into Imagine Me. So you did get plot points in these novellas, which I really appreciated. But it wasn't enough for me to rank it higher. Like I said, Kenji's a fun character, but it wasn't more than just seeing Kenji and having fun. Next, number 5, Destroy Me. This is Warner's novella. Of course it's ranked high because this is where we find out that Warner has, spoiler alert, Warner has a heart. So Destroy Me, you're going through and you're seeing Warner's point of view. You're seeing how he's gotten into this point in the reestablishment and how he's been determined as this evil ruler. I love how nuanced Warner is and how much depth his character has. So of course I went into Destroy Me with all of the excitement, and I loved every second of it. Not a lot of plot, but you do get some little tidbits of things that happen in Unravel Me. Next, another novella, number 4, Believe Me. The ending of Imagine Me, like I said, so disappointing. Believe Me gave me at least a little bit more of an ending than you get from Imagine Me. You get a happily ever after that's more than 2 pages, and I really, really enjoy it. It's a nice wrap up. A lot of people were a little upset with it because spoiler, I'm just gonna say spoiler. I know I warned y'all about spoilers, but spoiler, a lot of people were really upset with it because you didn't get the wedding scene. I was fine with that because they're gonna get married, but other people were really upset that you didn't get the whole wedding scene, even though this whole novella is basically about them planning their wedding. Didn't bother me. I still really enjoyed the novel, or novella. Unravel Me is number 3 on my list. This is the second book in the series, and basically the whole plot is Juliet going with the rebellion, that they're underground at a mega point, and she gets to learn more about people who have powers like she does. This is really great. I was actually really, really happy with this novel because it felt like you were getting more world building than you did in Shatter Me. I felt like we were developing more with the characters, more with the world, more with the plot, and it felt like more of a well-rounded story than Shatter Me did, and Ignite Me. So that's why Unravel Me ranked higher than both of those. Okay, number 2 on my list. Y'all are probably going to think I'm crazy because, like I said, this is so uneven. I've never ranked a series like this before. But number 2 for me was Defy Me. This is the 5th book in the Shatter Me series. Defy Me, you learn so much about the characters, about the world, about what's going on with the reestablishment, and it was what I needed. It's a very sad book. and very disturbing at times, but I needed it. I needed that world building because otherwise the series meant nothing. If I'm being completely honest, you can have great characters, Warner and Juliet, cool, we can have the great romance, but what does it mean if they don't have a plot or a built world to have their story in? It means nothing. You can't just have characters frolicking around without any purpose. So this book, Defy Me, felt like it gave more purpose and more depth to the story overall, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. Number one on my list, Restore Me. This is the fourth book in the Shatter Me series. It happens right after Ignite Me. I don't think it was actually supposed to be written. The last three novels were not supposed to be written because it was supposed to end at Ignite Me. But she came back and she wrote this. And I'm really glad that she did because otherwise I really would have been disappointed with the whole entire series. Restore Me is what started the world building in that you get more of in Defy Me. So Restore Me, you get this world that Juliet's trying to build up that the reestablishment tore down. And it meant so much because you finally get to learn some of the things that the reestablishment was doing that caused the world to be in such turmoil. I loved Restore Me. I think it was a really good addition to the series. I just wish she could have followed through with the ending and made Imagine Me a little bit better. But yeah, that is my crazy uneven ranking of the Shatter Me series. Overall, I'm gonna say that it was pretty meh for me. If I had to give the entire series a rank, it would be 3 out of 5 because it's some books are really good, some books fell flat. And the whole series was like a roller coaster of, oh, it's getting really good, but then, oh, we're going through this again. I don't think it lives up to the hype that everyone says about it and the pedestal that they put it on. Don't come after me for this and my rankings. This is just how I feel about the series. But like I said, it was a solid for me. Leave me a comment down below with how you would rank the series. I want to know which Shatter Me novel is your favorite, which one's your least favorite, and why. So leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you like this video. I always make videos like this. I love ranking and reviewing series. And leave me a suggestion for a video that I should do next time. But until then, I will see you guys later. Bye.